Hey guys, welcome back to hashtag the world of cool features. If you're from the Indian subcontinent and you're watching this video in the early parts of June, this video is super urgent because the monsoons are coming. That means time to take some amazing time lapses. In this video, you will see a very smart trick for taking better time lapses from your Android phone. Much better time lapses. Any Android phone. Not kidding at all. The problem with traditional time lapses of open worlds is that the auto mode makes them jumpy, fidgety. Phones might start hunting for focus if you forget to set it manually on something that doesn't move in the frame, and more problematically if there are situations with dynamically varying exposures, like let's say extremely cloudy days, or maybe you're trying to capture low light situations. The exposure might jump around. So the solution is a time lapse made of HDR images set manually. And I mean proper HDR, where the camera clicks multiple images with various exposure levels and then combines those images to churn one final photo. Physical exposure based HDR. So here's what you need. Any Android phone, a nice sturdy tripod with a nice sturdy phone mount, and 3 apps. Obviously, art is not easy. Getting a good time lapse is cumbersome. It's not dubbing. Okay, let's not waste time. The first app to get is Open Camera. It's absolutely free and it's absolutely nice. I would love to do a detailed walkthrough of this app in another video, but I don't want to make this video very long. So I'm going to tell you 3 quick tips and then we're off. Number 1. In settings, go to more camera controls. Make sure pause after taking photo is set to off. Also make sure that shutter sound is set to off, because I don't know, I get irritated, like click, 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 click. Irritating, right? Then go to save location and make sure that you are saving images that you click using this software in a different folder than your regular clicks, that is. The app does create a folder automatically called Open Camera in your DCIM folder, and even that is fine, but just make sure that it's not your default camera folder. Data management, OCD, FTW. Also set the save photo prefix to something you can remember in case you want to find these photos in file search. I've set it to OCHDR, so I know if I search for OCHDR in the search context, I can find my time-lapse sequences. Tip number 2. In the main settings menu, this time go to photo settings. Set the camera resolution to something comfortably high for your phone, and by that I also mean keep in mind the storage space available in your phone. The higher you go, the more free space you will need. Simple math. The other important factor to keep in mind is stitching these images into a video. If you are going to use your phone only, I would suggest you start small, 1280 by 720, which is a 16:9 aspect ratio. Computer people, of course, you can go big and be home. Then set the image quality to 100%. Set image format to JPEG because maximum compatibility. And now let's come to HDR contrast enhancement. 4 out of 5 phones that I tested this app with gave good results when this was set to smart. Tip number 3. Go back to the main settings page, go on to screen GUI, scroll to the absolute bottom and make sure that keep display on is set to on. You don't want your phone to get locked while it's taking a time lapse. And now close everything and come back to the Play Store. Didn't see that coming, did ya? This time you're going to need the intervalometer app. Now this app is not free, but it only costs 120 rupees. That's not even $2. And the more you explore content on this channel, you will see how many use cases I have found for this app that even I have paid for. One is already uploaded. Now open the intervalometer app. Tap on open intervalometer. After the intervalometer's interface pops up, say that fast, switch apps to the open camera. You will see that the intervalometer's GUI is still drawn over the open camera interface, and that is the beauty of the intervalometer. This single app can let you take time lapses over any camera app that you like. So let's get the large window out of the way first so that you can set the image properties properly. You can drag it around by grabbing the top position bar, but it'll be better if you click on configure. The app will draw a bullseye target thingy. Make sure it's on top of the shutter button of the open camera app. If it's not, just drag it and drop it on top of it. Now click OK on the intervalometer app and tap the intervalometer icon on top of where it says timer, that text that you can see. This will shrink that window into a small icon that you can move around so that it doesn't come in the way of the open camera app's interface. Now let's set up our open camera app to click HDR images. Press the shoot menu icon, and the first thing to do, set your focus to infinity. That way your phone won't hunt for focus even if there is any movement across the entire focal plane. And since I'm assuming your focus for these HDR time lapses is the sky, which is infinity kilometers away. No, it's not. Air travel is getting cheaper after every election. Press the menu button again, and in the photo mode select HDR. A warning will pop up which will ask you to not use HDR for moving objects, because this is not the fancy smart HDR thing. This is shoot 3 different exposures and merge them smartly into one. So if you wish to take an HDR image of, let's say, the rising corona cases, this is probably not the app or method for it. That action is too fast for this. However, since we are going to be using this for a time lapse, we're good to tap. So we're good to go. So tap on OK. Go to the menu one last time, scroll down to the absolute bottom and set the white balance to the scene that closest resembles the conditions that you are planning to shoot a time lapse of. Assuming we're catching the monsoon, let's set it to cloudy. That locks the white balance, so you won't see shifting colors, let's say when the sun is behind clouds and when it comes out. That's it for HDR photography. Now, to make the clicking of HDR images with these settings a timed, repeatable process, tap on the Honey, I Shrunk the App icon of the intervalometer. Now, the real game here is setting the interval. It actually depends on how heightened you want your motion to be. If you want to show the clouds moving slowly, you will have to set it to a smaller interval. But keep in mind, your phone might need 5 to 6 seconds to click 3 images, then process it into one image and then save it on your phone. So I strongly suggest don't go below 10-ish seconds. On the other hand, if you want to show that the clouds are mad looking at what's happening down below, I mean, who wouldn't be? You'll have to set longer intervals, and you will have to let your phone capture images for longer periods of time. I know you can capture at lesser intervals and then speed in the clip in post-production to achieve the same look, but that will be you capturing extra data in the form of frames that won't be used by when you just squish the clips. That's governmental redundancy. I mean, monumental redundancy. Basically the point is, I'm really sorry I can't paint a rosy picture of how long you need to leave your phone be, letting it click images for an impressive time lapse. Here's my math actually. On an average, I set the interval to 15, which means a photo is clicked every 15 seconds. That means 4 images every 1 minute, which means 240 images in 1 hour. And if you want your time lapse to play back at 25 frames per second, which is sort of the standard for web video, you get a clip that will be a little over 9 seconds in length. One clip from one location. But to be brutally honest, if you want a grand shot which shows true passage of time, let's say a sunrise or a sunset, you might want to increase the interval and the duration of the filming period. Multiply that math into various locations and various interval settings. If you want to make a nice montage like I did for the intro, honestly, Be what the times need right now. Be ready for a lot of patience. That opening sequence is easily over 1 hour of footage shot punctiliously, painstakingly, patiently over the course of 1 month. But you've gotta do what you gotta do. Now, there are two ways to make a video clip out of your single set of image sequences. One is through a computer and the other one is through your Android phone itself. If you are going to use a computer, I've already explained the entire process, the entire steps in details in another video that I've uploaded. You will find the links in the description. Don't have to waste your time. Watch it from 7 minutes 51 seconds onwards. Phone users, however, they would need to go back to Play Store and this time download an app called Images to Video. This app is completely free, but that does come with 3 restrictions. So open the app, then tap on Images to Video in the center. You might be shown an ad, and that is the first caveat with this app. Powering through. Click on Add Images, then navigate to where you set Open Camera to save these images. In my case, it was DCIM, then Open Camera, the folder itself. Tap on Select All and then this red button thingy, this will import all the photos into the app. Then tap on Settings and there it is, the second restriction. You can output to a max resolution of only 1280 by 720p. That's not even Full HD, and that's also why I asked phone users to set their resolution to 1280 by 720 when we were doing camera, open camera settings. But I guess that's okay for social media uploads, that's okay. Interval is in milliseconds, so on 0 your images would play by the fastest, and on 2000 every subsequent image would come after a gap of 2 seconds. You can preview what you're about to get by tapping the preview button, and if you enable the continuous video encoding until user stops, the preview will keep on looping until you fine-tune and find the interval that you like. I usually set it to either 0 or 25. That's kind of where my motion remains fluid and not jerky, and I like it. But make sure you bring the cursor back to frame 1 and disable the loop option before hitting back to go back to the settings. These two are absolutely necessary steps, and I repeat because I care. Drag the cursor back to frame 1 and double check that you have disabled the loop function before you tap back key on your phone to continue. Tap on Create Video now and the app starts churning out your HDR time-lapse irrespective of whatever interval you choose. The final output will be 29.x frames per second, which is the third caveat for the app. But I think the benefits far outperform the cons. You get a clip which clearly is of far better dynamic range because it is made of HDR images. Go on, show off, upload the clip on your social profiles, tag me, or actually, don't tag me. That's up to you. Subscribe to the channel, don't subscribe to the channel, completely up to you. Drop me an encouraging comment or just cold-heartedly exit the video right now. That's up to you as well. Honestly, I don't care. I will keep uploading similar videos because, that's what superheroes do. Crap, I look like I'm going through a very bad breakup. Or maybe it's also the, lonely lockdown. Anywho, I will see you in the next one, people.